Welcome to Tales of Elder Names, stories about the origin and meaning of names in the ancient world, from the Bronze Age to the early medieval period. When we look for the origin of names, we need to understand why and how names came to be used in any culture. Firstly, names are not confined to their language of origin. Just as in the modern age English speakers have names derived from many language traditions, so too historic and mythic names can travel great distances crossing languages and cultures. Maritime peoples around the Mediterranean, Greek Danaoi, Anatolian Lycians, Phoenicians from the Levant, Sicilians and Sardinians, raided and traded the length and breadth of the sea, bringing back booty, deities, wives, and their names. Thousands of years before Germanic tribes from Scandinavia moved south into the steppes alongside Iranian-speaking islands, individuals were traveling the same route for trade and marriage. Greeks and Phoenicians and later Romans established colonies in North Africa, Palestine, Anatolia, Cyprus, Liguria, Sicily, Italy, and Spain, intermarrying with the locals and exchanging names. Names from the unknown languages of the pre-Hellenic Peloponnese, such as Larissa, are recorded in Greek myth and so persist into the modern era. And so Bronze Age Trojan princes in western Anatolia had Greek names. Armenian nobles had Persian names. Amazigh princes in North Africa had Punic names. Post-Roman Welsh leaders had Irish and Gothic names. Iron Age Greeks had names from Anatolia and the ancient languages of Crete and Cyprus. Iranian and East Germanic names travelled from the Pannonian Plains to North Africa, with the Alans and Vandals, following Punic, Greek, and Roman settlers who came before them. Leaders of Eastern kingdoms in post-Roman Britain switched between British and Saxon names before settling on an Anglo-Saxon identity for themselves and their kingdoms. And of course Christianity and Islam brought a new range of Mediterranean names to much of Europe, tweaked and distorted by the languages they passed through. This introduces another point to remember when researching names. The transition from one linguistic culture to another can alter a name beyond recognition, as can the use of a script that doesn't accurately represent the original sounds, phonemes. In classical and medieval times, a scribe never asked, "How do you spell that?" Rather, they approximate it to their own dialect and spelling tradition, and so may change or eliminate tricky phonemes, or even change name to match more familiar name elements. As an example, Biblical Hebrew Nebuchadnezzar, for Akkadian Nebuchadnezzar, Nabu protect my heir. Finally, we should remember the names chosen by people for themselves and their children. Their choice of meaning and language of origin reflect the aspirations of the name giver for status, identity, religious, familial, and ethnic, and hopes for the future. While italic names tended to be monothematic, containing a single core element of meaning, and honored a revered ancestor or patron figure, the majority of names in the ancient Western world, from Ireland and Hispania to Central Asia and the Indian subcontinent, are usually dithematic, containing two elements, or polythematic, and uniquely personal. For Afro-Asiatic names, Punic, Hebrew, Akkadian, Egyptian, Numidian, etc., these semantic themes tend to form a grammatic phrase. For example, Ra'amsesu, he is born of Ra. Shemuel, name of God. In Assyrian, Salmano Asherad, Salmano is foremost. Unrelated languages of the region use similar formulas. Example, Kasat Melishipak, servant of Shippak, and Elamite Shilhak in Shushanak, powered by Shushanak. Most people in the European West are deeply familiar with this form of naming system, from its use in exposition in the Bible, and many will have been given such a Christian name at baptism to affirm their religious devotion. This influences how people perceive names from other cultures. We learn that names are grammatic phrases or compounds with a coherent meaning, and expect this in names from other cultures. But this is not always the case. Japanese names written with ideographic kanji may at first glance appear dithematic, but instead rely on metonymy, change in meaning, which affects not only what they mean, but also how they are read. It could be simple phonetic approximation of a word usually written differently, or can be so obscure the name intended has to be explained, as in Sakumu, blossom dream, intended to be read as Sakura, prunus or cherry, literally blossoms. Similarly, the majority of Indo-European names share a diathematic naming system, which form neither grammatic phrases nor metonyms. This naming system appears to have developed in the transpontic steppes, the forests and grasslands north of the Black Sea to the Aral Sea, and spread to every branch of the language family except for Italic and Anatolian. In this system, each theme has a significance of its own, and the compounded name may not have any unified semantic meaning, and should not be automatically read as such, even if it appears to. It may be tempting to read Archimedes as ruler's council, but when we see Leucomedes, wolf council, this reasoning breaks down. This system, being freed of semantic constraint, becomes incredibly productive. Any proto-theme, first element, can be paired with any different deuterotheme, second element. The primary constraint being that the deuterotheme must be declinable, indicating gender and grammatic case. Even in the Germanic tradition, where deuterothemes originally only begin with a consonant, some later related, this gives us more than 160 known deuterothemes and 375 protothemes, to potentially create over 60,000 unique names. In our next episode, I'll explore the broad types of words chosen for name themes in Indo-European languages, with some first examples from inscriptions, texts, and coinage.